if there wasn't going to be a Vice or any flashes to get the early pushes away from 7, he has free reign for aggressive angles on both showers and Long B. So let's see what Winthrop University will be cooking here on the attack side of Bind, as we're kicking things off rather right now with already a TP setting across the board and lots of TSM over on the A site for one setup.
And 7 starting out by himself on that B site. Winthrop are going to want to change that as quickly as possible by applying that scaling pressure, like you said, with this composition, now with the Vice and Fade in tow. Toxic screen down short, already causing that default pressure that TSM are going to have to play with residually as Moves makes a little bit of a cry and Hookah to start things out. WU not committing to any bit just yet, but egging TSM on here in short, potentially a peek. No, it will back out, and instead, pressure placed on the Hookah. Now that weak side potentially revealed, Timotino steps out and gets the first blood of the match. That's the signal huge for WU to try and press forward. On top of the double smoke, they will try and fully take over this front half of the site, but a gorgeous haunt sets up TSM to try to take back over early on. Sheer does block a majority of that push away, and so TSM actually reduce it back to neutrality, but WU can't progress off of the push, and in fact, the spike will get stuck in the island of lamps as TSM go crazy. Alvin Boy has his pick from the back line and turns it into a 4K to give TSM the pistol.
Such a good hold at the very beginning too, and that's why the TP was so good for TSM, so they could double push and clear out towards Hookah. Which was interesting because Moves didn't go for any flash and whatnot. He went for a full share of trying to get an opener on that pick, and it kind of relied on him to allow Winthrop University to gain a little bit more ground, especially fighting towards that short A. But you saw how it all unraveled. Every single one of them walking into angles that were just being watched here from TSM. No real util, no wide swings to allow an instant trade. And Alvin Boy, that's picking up 4 kills to start. Silver lining is that there's no plant that came down from Winthrop University, and this is what I'm talking about here. If there's no util to really help out on that scaling into the extreme areas, you see the results.
Spike down A.
Yeah, you could continue playing that individuality with 7 and then have the most dastardly stack outside of it. Apply this very unconventional pressure that's able to do its own kind of very quick scaling the other way around. It's TSM, they'll just use the TP, wrap that match or that round up at the entrance to showers before WU can even make a battle cry. Perhaps there's some targeting, alt cycling potential here as TSM will rally up a good portion of orbs on most of the team, but nothing for the bonus, just some stability.
Well, there's a lot for the bonus for the side of TSM. 7 went 0, 0, and 0 so far, and still has enough money to go for a small shield operator. And still having 5 bullets of the headhunter, and he's already going for the peak.
Yeah, with the help of the Prowler, hard to expect if it's going to be 7 on top of that util this early, but in the bonus with that operator, it is beautiful. Good start, and picking off Ali is major for WU's push. No way to secure a site for an elongated period. It's got to be a full-blown fight win here with the slight rifle diff that they have, and it is very slight. Infiltrator still having to buy up on that Guardian. And 7, I mean, still walking around with this sniper now posted up on Heaven for the re-up from WU on A.
And it's double snipers on the A site, and that's probably something that Winthrop University is going to have to pain to deal against. They have to wait for the refresh of the Haunt now to go for the full exec, because you need now utility to activate Infiltrator, open up the site, since they don't have these smokes to work with. Well, or walk.
Yeah, it's just
walk to your death.
Just walk. Sure. Yeah, give both the snipers some action. Nice little demo round for TSM here, but Infiltrator and Glyph do find their eye shots and have to reset the fight for TSM's portion as well. Oh, dude. GMD.
30 seconds left.
Okay.
Last player standing.
Well, you did find Infiltrator on the outskirts here, so 2v1.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Glyph! Okay. Thank goodness WU gets away with that one.
This is pistol round from both sides. Everybody's just gifting kills. Walking into crosshairs out in the open. I mean, you're not supposed to win that round where you don't have a brimstone. You're not supposed to win that round when you're on a 5 versus 3. You're not supposed to win that round where all of these angles are being watched by long-range guns. And then suddenly, it's just the time for TSM to go for 1-for-1s until finally you get some sort of a double swing for that 2 versus 1, but still won and clutched out by Glyph.
Yeah, pretty, actually kind of crucial moment after TSM do contribute a little bit extra to that kind of round. Vora certainly not alone, but TSM trying to sell it to make it look that way, and the Vine is going to keep them so stuck here. Steel Garden actually thrown on by Alvin Boy as well. They just want to fully guarantee it, and they will. A double Sentinel going crazy in the kill feed that round to get TSM back on their feet.
And thankfully, they were able to get themselves out of what should have been already 4-0 scoreline after seeing how that happened on that previous round.
Indeed. Yes,
but
indeed.
A great hold, and thankfully Alvin Boy was able to get that quad kill in the pistol round to be able to get this Steel Garden in that previous round to at least anchor it up and help out the team. Even if he loses his life, the rest of the team is there to play against pistols, and they're in a good spot here to just hold it back. So great job. Remember, that was a bonus round previously by TSM, so they still had a strong buy on that previous round. And now this time going back against an eco from Winthrop.
Yeah, time to start really doubly investing. And Novora takes a lot of chip by the hookah watch. Timotino will wrap up the first lurk. And Force moves to commit to something here. Oh, instead, Timotino's just going to meet him halfway. Get the work done for him. And Moobs will pop it. Good awareness.
I don't think that was patience. A TP. That was set up by Timotino. So he just decided to walk out where he had no escape, and unfortunately here just gets owned.
Yeah. Well, Simmons gonna hold this spot until the bitter 11th hour, and TP right back to the second one. That's a marvelous little double up. Oh, Alito is still kicking, and that Sheriff still singing. 26 HP, but enough to sell moves for himself, and no one's looking! These rounds are strung together with scotch tape right now.
And it's hanging there, dude. It's one of those, you know, when you put a scotch tape on the wall and it's been like 2 weeks, so it's starting to like unstick, and you're trying to place it back and really press
is
on
like
it.
Getting all over the wall. It's like
there's
all gross
dust
and stuff
under there. You're really like pressing through. It's holding. Wait, it's not. This is probably the premise of this game after the last few rounds that I just witnessed from these two teams. This is insane that you're able to convert here from an eco round again. A Laura buy back in your favor for Winthrop, but still in another scenario where you're still even footing because TSM is able to win on these low buys. So now this is the first real swing round of the half. Hopefully it'll be cleaner from now on.
It gotta be soon, right? Oh, Timotino goes fishing and catches two big uns. Infiltrator pops the showstopper to an open season, but no clear crowd. Alvin is found, but still, Lamp's not cleared. Infiltrator will do all that heavy lifting himself as Timotino pops the dimensional drift and suddenly gives a man advantage on site to WU. That prompts the pit that WU continues to play into. Timotino just sending a dry decoy to get some attention diverted, and it works. 7 with that tour de force. Forces Infiltrator to turn back and grab his third of the round. He'll just farm another showstopper while his spike is ticking down. Timotino, still a flash left in the tank, but no longer more than one TP. And having to get GMD in here on this pit. Just escort him in with the help of this Nebula and Nova Pulse. Nothing can hit well enough, and Glyph just has more than enough area to contest. We are tied at 3 after WU continue to just slip by with enough and then get their own advantage going.
Yeah, and this is very nice coming out from Winthrop University. The hero plays come out for individual players finding good timings out of everything that's going on in terms of chaos within the site. Another scenario where you have a team starting off with a 2-player lead, but the showstopper, Infiltrator, going and running around the map just evens up the tally, despite everybody being pinned and cornered inside the small radius of pit. You do have to hand it to and thank Infiltrator to assist here Winthrop University to tie up the game. And finally, I mean, I was gonna say finally, because I was looking at GMD only with the Stinger, but we still have a pretty good buy out for TSM. Both of the Chamber and Duelist holding and playing hand in hand where they can both TP and fight. And taking full control here of this long B side. You saw the TP just disappeared. So Timotino still in this angle has a chance to escape by putting the other TP or just literally going through the TP for the crunch into showers.
I'm gonna try and farm some early committal since they only have the Cosmic Divide for a retake and GMD has the Stinger. So, I mean, you have to play off of each other so hard if TSM force this round to get elongated. Seeing if they can get an early freebie. 7, now just posted up, boastful. Gaps free, WU's rotating into it. Do you 1-2-3 swing?
Have to.
There it is. Seven's outie.
30 seconds left.
Face your fear!
That's why, especially when Moves is holding towards Hookah at first.
Spike down.
Dude.
Oh my god, he's better when he's deaf. Now you got a TP, yeah. You just got to play into where Moves has been holding, but he hasn't been able to break anything yet. This is just, I mean, this is the round. This is sold.
Sorry, that threw me. That was
10
the
seconds. No,
you're
funniest line I ever heard.
Sorry.
For tonight. No, it's awesome. I loved it. But it's such a good anchoring by coming up from 7.
One enemy remaining.
He just
I mean,
stood
you're
it down
just
a
funneling
second
everybody
time.
out. Yeah, exactly. Dude, this is going to be a fun game in terms of just pure entertainment. At this point, my job's a lot easier because all I could do is just criticize on the throws we're doing.
Yeah, if a team makes too big a mistake, then call it out. Otherwise, it's like a Pollock painting. It's just, you know, it's definitely art, but it's a little scattered.
Yeah. If anything, though, I do like how 7 stayed very strong to his position. He was already hit by the Nightfall, and he already used the TP, so he's like, look, I have to try to delay as much as I could. And he manages to get 3 kills, or 2 kills, rather, on top of that. You desperately needed that coming up from your Sentinel player for TSM to be able to manage to hold that round.
Wow, Vora swinging on top of the C's. Wonder how much WU predicted they'd be in here after that Vine got tossed in. Still, so much utility, it doesn't really matter. They're just going to clear it anyway. So TSM will lose that fade very early on here. Awkward shear. Oh yeah, Infiltrator's just gonna try and hop on over it. Instantly silenced and stopped. That's gotta be the TP. TSM will be keen to it. Timotino is gonna be having this early watch to showers. And so you'll have to smoke your way in. Slow rolling. And Move still trying to toy with this hookah smoke. And he'll use it to find Alvin Boy. That's actually major. They'll find that level of aggression now onto A. Feel a lot more confident to take their 2Vs and turn that into a 3v2 now after 7 actually spins the block here and chases down the fire onto Glyph through that TP. Or excuse me, not Glyph. Governor takes the chip,
30 seconds
but he'll get the
left.
spike down with time to spare.
We saw the Vice Wall, too, so they know that GMD's flanking.
Ali gets his gun out just in time. It's watched and not popped. 7, tough call to make from here. But
The call's to save, most likely. It was such an important fight that moves 1 here towards that B side. You even see it from that the way that everybody's positioned. As you force a TP across from a good hold in the beginning towards Showers, even if Moves wins that fight towards B, it's so difficult for the rest of Winthrop to cross over back from Showers back to the TP. So you had to be really good on util, finding good timing. They get a pick out of that one. I think that was onto Timotino towards the back of the A site from a nice little double swing in the back of that site. And then I like the idea that comes back forward. GMD rotates across and is like, okay, well, we know somebody's towards B. We gotta force the pressure back into the A site so that we don't allow Winthrop University to get a late flank off of a pulse plant. And Winthrop stayed very patient in that moment. And then they found that opening to be able to get into the B site and win this post plant in the end. So now, after all the shenanigans, I'm finally enjoying like a nice real round of Valorant on that previous round, and I want to see this continue on. Both teams are now leveraging really what's available on this map of Bind for them to take full control of this map.
Yeah, this is the kind of adaptability we expect from WU and the kind of mechanical prowess we expect from TSM. We're starting to get to that point where these teams are playing like they're playing for Ascension. First Prowler, GMD's just going to eat it for lunch.
I think you're absolutely correct, Tarek, to say that these guys are playing for Ascension, right? And maybe that's why we're seeing all these shenanigans in the last 8 rounds. It's because elimination doesn't get you any closer. In fact, eliminates you from Ascension. TSM has been there last year, and they lost within groups, while Winthrop still hasn't even tasted a deep playoff bracket run yet. So there is a lot of pressure for both of these teams, which is why these mistakes are coming out.
Definitely some nerves on the table here for sure, as losing here, it sends your fate to core. First toss up, nice arc rows, but Infiltrator adjusts beautifully, and WU make it sequential. Little bit of a toss up for Governor as he's a little pinched at the moment, but he'll turn that into a manufactured insertion as WU just take over the site instead. Vora does have an open season from the hookah though, as it's not pressured, and so WU have to plant a little too safe. Governor, though, able to hold down Timotino on the back line, and that would probably be all she wrote. Yeah, everybody's got to play so individually from here, and Vorta's not going to be able to find anything else. 7 will be relegated to another save, and WU are going to take the lead after another gorgeous B exec.
Yeah, and that was a big fight that was needed to win here by Timotino. He was looking pretty hot at the beginning of the round, and unfortunately was a little bit labored in that fight against Governor when he had first shot against him. Now 7 chased down, hunted down, and that, I mean, he has money for an op in the next round. It just depends here for the rest of TSM if they want to buy around that. I think this is probably a call here for, I would like to say, the coach to decide what they'd like to do around this util. It looks like 7 buys enough for a rifle, so he could drop another rifle for a teammate, and that's GMD to pick it up.
Now we win.
It's not going to get called.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Winthrop University are not only doing a great job in terms of these execs, but they've been avoiding 7 a lot of these rounds.
Placing wall trap.
And that's been the game plan that's found some good successes on clean rounds for Winthrop University. But this time 7 is playing with an Odin.
Early showstopper from Infiltrator. Fly fishing. Doesn't catch anything. And WU... Yeah, they'll turn tail. Oh my god, yeah, he got chunked. Didn't make a dent.
Pretty sure there was like a flash Odin that kept him from getting value off the showstopper.
At least now you know it's there, but 7's already rotated. He's just trying to be as universal as possible, despite the fact that he can only TP so far back. But WU, they've sequenced out this fight thanks to that first smoke by Ali. That's a gorgeous rotation from Glyph close quarters. 7 can't find a thing. I mean, that's a bit of an unrealistic recovery. I can't lie, Vans. That was, I mean, TSM were there. Yeah.
Especially with Infiltrator at 4 HP. The C's just kept the player in hookah at bay. He can't really help out for the players inside the site. But I was just paying attention to whoever's playing towards that back of the barrel. I'd like to think it was Vora when he dropped down from heaven. He was trying to find the timing to watch into showers. The moves just tucked in. And then tucked into bench, and then every time he's jiggling, he doesn't see Moobs, and Moobs gets the surprise attack onto him, which doesn't give a chance here for 7 to get any value with the Odin in the back of the site. So they had the numbers, but Winthrop University were just finding little moments of timing that they're able to slip through the cracks, and now have a comfortable lead on the attack side, and a great start at least after what was horrendous in the very beginning from both teams.
Yeah. Moves, if anything, has like the second most readable attack pattern apart from maybe Infiltrator, where it's like as the lurk insert, he's just gonna look to trip a squad up and maybe either sell a stack or just get a stupid kill on it, you know, as a push goes in with that timing. But then once an attack goes in with him, once he's, you know, turning into a pinch, he becomes much more of like just a disturbance, an annoyance, somebody who's just kind of like poking and prodding around a couple of crucial chokes. And you know where they're going to be. It's just Moobs knows exactly what points on Winthrop's back he needs to scratch in order to make sure that all of those off angles are covered. And at the same time, he never makes himself the biggest threat at the time. So it's very hard to justify targeting him while he's doing all of this damage in the background and forcing you to reposition around him. He becomes very invisible in a fight very quickly after being probably the most annoying part of a fight for the first 30 seconds of it. And I mean, you're so aware of it the whole time, but again, it's so hard to fight.
Yeah. Speaking of annoyance, it was basically the story of the first few rounds here for Winthrop University, despite them, you know, crawling out of it. But it was really this double snipe setup here from both 7 and Timotino. And you realized here into these early rounds, you're not pressuring those extremities too fast, too quickly. They are looking for a lot of hookah control, a lot of short A control, and finishing with a pop into the mid round and towards the extremities, which really throws TSM for a loop, really trying to play around also the timing of the TPs that are available for Timotino. Just really good attack sides being called so far by Winthrop University.
Inching up B main this time. No one posted up in flowers. Alvin Boy is close to it as you can get, though. Not on top of a sheer this time, but on top of a rose, rather. And 7's the one to play into it. Double Sentinel continuing to have that early prowess, but they're going to stick it. 7 holds it down, and this Nightfall is going to be a lot more telegraphed. Finally, TP's away after the stack is fully sold, but W makes a lot of noise in that backline, and it's Ollie with the Molly and the dry fire that burns through it all. Site's once again taken over, and Governor holding down Hookah. All the meanwhile, every tether trapped, and TSM are back to the drawing board.
Somehow Ali got a wallbang kill. And it looks like the TP was even set up behind the wall towards spawn. I didn't know you could really get the hit through that. It ends up being very nice here on the lower buy that you saw from TSM. GMD, unfortunately, right-handed model couldn't see Glyph coming out of the poison orb, and not a weapon to be carried over into the next round, but it was still a timeout on a half buy that they had, and the timeout is finally to say, Seven, forget about buying rifles and Odins for your teammates. Bring out that op. That has been our win con for the first few rounds, at least in terms of first blood and early map control. They need him to secure that line so that the extremities can really be held. You get much more value out of the Vi's utility and also what GMD is going to have to do staying within Astral Form. If it's not for him, GMD having to go into Astral Form kind of puts him into like a 4v5, and there you go. That position on top gets that pick into Infiltrator, and once again, Infiltrator has no value for the entries, but Winthrop has always found ways to fight back.
Yeah, you've already seen how long Seven is willing to stay posted up until he gets that first blood. And he can stay even more consistent with that operator now. So WU try to play into showers a bit. Glyph will trade away for one, and WU will finally know that they've made enough noise to make this TP over to B and take a clean sight. Moves doing a lot of the dry clearing as the rest of the team is stuck
Got a hold
behind.
of this too.
Yeah, for a moment here with this shear that'll just get crossed up. Governor, big rotation here to a flank that's non-existent. Everybody's here in the back, and an orbital strike just to play keep away. Now the molly from Ollie. And this is a good amount of time wasted out the gate because no one else is anywhere. And by this point, WU have to be pretty aware of that because they're running out of time. Steel Garden plays down. It's the last round of the half, might as well. But you're able to play so many close quarters. And they can elongate this even more. 2 for 2. Governor's up next on the docket, and he has the rifle back. He just needs to waste a couple more crucial bits of time, and that's a way to do it once. Now up onto Alvin Boy as well, and that's the clutch that WU was looking for to seal this half decisively.
Dude, all three players on a 3 versus 4, 3 of those kills were all shorties. When a Steel Garden came through and somehow a person in individual spots with 3 players swinging against him every single time is able to manage 1 kill. There's one.
Here's the second one. A lot of chip there too, yeah. And then moves.
Here's another
finishes.
one. Dude.
That's crazy. They were prepared. They were fully ready to be holed up in those places when the Steel Garden was called. That's why they used all of that, stalling stuff so early with the Brim.
Yeah. I still have to say, though, Seven did a great job baiting out the ult because he placed a TP outside of the radius of the ult, baited out the wall and TP'd out, which wins them some time. Yeah. When the shear was up, but it was just a pulse plant hold from Winthrop, but the shorties were just too good. TSM looking to fight back on the attack now.
A crucial pistol here for sure. As the second that smoke gets launched, TSM will fly some pod shots in and do a little bit of chip to Ali, making the cross.
By the way, as you kept saying Molly from Ali, let's just call it a Molly. Who's currently about to get challenged into showers here.
Yeah, swung from Timo. He always wins those, buddy. Sorry. Moves is sticking around. I wouldn't expect any less. Nebula to give TSM a little bit of leeway. Oh, good sense for Moves to learn that it's a fadeaway.
Yeah. Now your position's given away. I wouldn't be surprised if you start taking Orb Control 2 towards showers. So TSM's doing very good here in working out that map very slowly and clearing out space corner by corner.
No more Thor.
Yeah, Seven kept 2 over there once again by himself over in sand, and now TSM have a stack again. Moves finally overwhelmed after so much noise is made on this A site. So TSM have the 5v3 post plant. That being said, Timo and Seven can no longer be those first pins for the fight. They've got to trade away the Watchman, and Vora will be finalized in the meantime. Looks like a lot of Lamb's control that Winthrop is trying to fight for, and they are continuing to as Governor gets shredded down. Rest of TSM have all the off angles in the world to just continue cracking away at this iceberg. So TSM, very solid pistol round for themselves. They will also keep 3 standing to end it and get their own solid attack half going.
Yeah, and despite Winthrop University losing that round, I just have to give a little bit of a commend over to Moobs on how he's playing and trying to delay as much as he could here as a solo hold into showers. Look at how he swings right here. He's forced to swing in that spot because when his shear got popped up by short, he pops up his flash. If nobody jumped across and the flash gets no contact, I think he stays tucked in to try to delay even more because he's not going to get pressured from short. And as it does get the contact from the lurk, I think that was from Alvin Boy, and he's like, well, screw it. I got to do a one and done here to try to give a fighting chance for Winthrop for the retake in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but it's just those small things you have to think about here when you're playing under the pressure and understanding your game sense and your surroundings here in these moments. Triple push.
Yeah,
good timing to watch this flank, and there's only, I mean, GMD in these moments, he always watches flanks and then turns away the last second.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this time at all. He will stay stoic and get the entire stack with one of the few buys that TSM didn't go into on this follow-up round. Or Solo's glyph on the jump down as well, and this is the kind of hot streak TSM would like to hit to kick things off. Moobs. Nice little dink onto Vora to at least crack open one. Let's see how much more damage that Moobs is able to do.
Yeah, next one it goes Timotino. Pick up that stinger, try to go for that kill.
Wow.
Oh my god, he still hit him for 7.
Yeah.
What a flick.
Probably nothing more you
one
can do
ult
from
to
here.
the ult. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good kill to get this early on.
I'll have what I'm owed.
Well, it seems like TSM have a lot left that they can still condition. There's been a lot of like early contact swings for most of the pre-plant stuff. It seems like they're still saving a lot for after they drop Spike, just because they know that Winthrop can go for these post-plant contests so heavily, especially once they get their ult cycle rolling.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of ult cycles, exactly that. Timotino won away here, and looks like Winthrop University wants to try to prevent that from happening. They're already playing on the extremities earlier on, just trying to find information. Even a smoke just to make sure here that Moobs is not going to get pressured towards that showers. Eesh. That's not the type of kill here that you wanted to see coming from the side of Winthrop University, or a type of death. Especially, again, this is a bonus round for TSM. And that could be a weapon that could get easily picked up here. I'm wondering if TSM are still trying to sell and force a rotate over on this side on B. And when they finish up on the A side to try to move in, okay, there, the weapon got picked up. So they'll pick it up, they'll fall back, and this might be a last second hit here towards this B site.
Yeah, committing a Nebula for that too. That'll make this push on the B a little sparse. But Governor's so far up. This is a little odd to play in front of the screen, even after the Prowler is gone. Just feels like you have so much more to give, man.
Okay,
jump down into the pit. Yeah, Glyph can hold down so much of this. Good sense for GMD to just spray through rather than take the jump down contact fight.
30 seconds left.
Safer play, a little riskier, but he gets the kill. He's just that guy. And Alvin Boy, nice watchdog to turn this to a 3v1. That was well handled by TSM, as they will keep 3 rifles, steal the bonus away, flip momentum entirely here. Provided Infiltrator doesn't go crazy, go stupid. He does have a lot, so he can maybe like flush out one to tap Spike or something. Ooh,
get that one kill. It's got the timing.
Okay, Alvin's got it. 3 on the board for him, 7 for TSM, reset for WU. Cards have been restacked.
Yeah, and that was probably for Infiltrator with POV. Try to get that pick onto Allen Boyd and escape with the rifle. Leave the other 2 alive. It doesn't matter. Try to keep the pockets low for the side of TSM. But that, dude, why? You saw the... I understand that the wall was being thrown in that he's like, okay, well, I see it. I'm going to have to bait it so we can play into the mid round. But you have to expect if you're going to move in solo and there's really nothing else to support you to guarantee audio, visual cues as somebody watching that wall, you're going to get punished right away. And that was in the start here that you wanted for Winthrop University. Already starting the round 10 seconds in on the 4 versus 5. And that puts you in a detriment where you have to play an eco here. I mean, you have a Marshall and a Stinger. A lot of that util is towards this A side short where most of TSM's grouped up on. I was gonna say it was easy. Try to bait that out and then op and then go for the TP after. At least they were able to break down the Razor Vines and you're re-hitting the site now.
It's timing solo mid. Walking up to the truck. Moobs will find it himself. Grab one with the Sheriff before he's popped. Rest of TSM has the blowback with the guns. Infiltrator's close quarters, though, so he gets a freebie with the Stinger and makes it still a bit of a civil war on the A site. GMD next to spray through will grab one, and now hunting in the back line. He is the demon of the round, making it a near guarantee for TSM in this 2v1 post plan.
Yeah, especially during the action. Thankfully, Alvin Boy's still alive. So the wall gets procced up on short sands where they actually place the wall, so they know that they have a clean plant. But now it's not planted for them. Thankfully, though, off a tap, you'll have a flash, you'll have razor. I was going to say you have Razor Vines, but he just popped it right away. Not too sure why. At least they have a suck after, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think they're just a little confident to just cycle through, play almost 2 by the book until you hear something. There it is. Double star commit as well?
Yeah.
Ultimate's ready.
Okay.
I mean, we'll take it. We'll take it. But imagine if it was a different scenario here where it wasn't a rifle, it wasn't a pistol. It was actually a rifle coming in. You were a little bit preemptive on the Razor Vines. You already have a flash to get the first contact. It doesn't ping anybody, so you don't really need to get the Razor Vines out. And I think it's just because they planted on the opposite side of where they're currently playing the post plant because they want to try to leverage you till the waste of time, then you're just going to try to cycle it through between those stars and the Razor Vines. But there was still some small mistakes that could be corrected here for the side of TSM on how they could play that better the next time.
Yeah, if WU find a way to kind of clock that over investment, perhaps force this to be over investment. Dimensional Drift will proc the Shear, make this fight a little segmented, provided he doesn't TP back. A world of intel that will just hand both Garden and Hookah over. Now the Steel Garden played into, but Moves gets a kill on Devora before that's said and done. And so now WU can continue playing for the intel passivity from the back lane. Oh, GMD, another spray through the smoke, though. Makes this so much more difficult to gain intel on WU side. Governor too early again.
It's a Vandal of all weapons, too, to get that kill through smoke.
Retrieving flash.
But yeah, definitely, everything's been fully stalled. But you're seeing the positioning from TSM. They have no inserts on the other side of the A site. So they just have to wait to re-hit. Contact play, perfect for trades.
Yeah, just to who's better as the screen fades. Infiltrator on this operator will reopen the board for Glyph to find something from hell, and Infiltrator will just move in on himself. He doesn't even wait for Ali, dude. But, I mean, look, whatever gets the ball rolling for Winthrop University is they will take the lead back.
Yeah, you have to find that timing on that 1v1 because you know exactly where those players are at.
Yeah, it's the only time you do.
Exactly, and even if he dies, Ali's already caught up. He's got util on top of that. You're forcing your opponent to try to go for a plant, so he could even close that gap. So I think it was still a good play no matter what. Oh, not that one, though. It's like, somebody boost me. I need to get back up here. And now he's got the worst angle to watch.
This is such a dumb gap. If he finds something here, that'll be even fun, even better. Very early Molly by Ali.
See, even Brimstone says it.
Yeah, why is he on this? Why is he OTPing this?
Oh,
I cannot believe he's holding this, man. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, if somehow Alvin Boy goes onto the bench to try to clear out towards APC and Infiltrator gets a pick like that, I'll eat my hat.
A real pros play into what they've got. Oh no, he's dropped back down. Okay.
Yeah, because the smoke finally dissipated here on the side of Ali, so they know that there's an opening here, and they're gonna switch sides. So Ali's gonna be watching short from the barrels, and Infiltrator's gonna be opting towards showers. But this is 2 big ults to split up the site. Oh, the jump peek!
That's insane from 7.
Rolling by the years.
That's all you need to flip it on its head. You still got a pretty way back crunch, though, so you can start counter-fragging for whoever tries to go for the extension, and they will. They start creeping up, too. Governor's just walking it down lamps. Pressure with the Prowler as GMD can't make a lot of headway, and Alvin Boy's relegated to the boxes as the Vinyl fighter right on top of him. It's on to GMD to kind of clear a path as this spike starts ticking away. Glyph is making the utmost rotation. Now, this is, again, so ballsy considering how much time he's got in their hands. GMD is timed out, though, and so it'll be a 2v1. Has Alvin Boy been given away? How much does it take to sell him? Do you swing this properly?
Player standing.
Nope. And Alvin Boy gets it! Yeah, I think you got a mistake you can call out there, Vance. you can call out a little something there.
Dude, that was sick.
That was
Wait, what
awesome.
do I call out? What was the word? I missed it.
I'm
trying to mind meld with you.
Just, you know, solo swings on the boxes there. It
Oh,
feels like you
yeah,
could take that so
yeah.
much easier.
I mean, he technically they still got first contact onto Alvin, and Alvin got that fight. And even if it closes a gap, he goes for the wide swing on the 1v1.
That's
that was
true. He did
basically what
swing it
Infiltrator
after.
was trying to do against GMD before, and I think GMD won against him for that type of same play. If anything, I still like that Winthrop University went for the full rotate across because he was already spotted into showers. So they had that element of surprise. But you're going to get value out of this, aren't you?
After that jump peak, Seven has got to feel so confident on this opening op angle.
And as I say, rolling back the years, I was talking about like back in 2003, and I think Seven wasn't even bored yet, so it's all good. But you used to like jump and land and then scope in and shoot right away just to get it with the AWP. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say AWP. But
Seven,
yeah, it was
Seven came
still...
out the woo mopping.
Yeah, basically. Kind of graphic, no? That said,
Maybe a little bit.
it's still around for TSM to start First Blood. And I think they'll talk about it at the desk, but think about the amount of times that you have First Blood from TSM right now, and it's still 9-9.
Very true, yeah. A lot of these moments let go. I mean, it was bookend hero moments. First that jump peek from Seven, and then Alvin Boy still having to wrap up with a two-piece at the end there. Slim margins that these teams are taking these rounds. But it's what gets them by, gets them ahead of one another, and that's what they need. Everything's covered for this follow-up from TSM. You've got every checkpoint cleared away. And 10 seconds, but no defensive end for WU. They took their sweet time to be able to hold on to all 5 of their guns here, and it worked.
And basically, that's the thing. You're playing against an eco, and you still took 10 seconds to plant. That's the amount of respect you're giving into the preparation that Winthrop might have against you at this point. And you just wanted to make sure that you're forcing the error on the side of Winthrop before you're feeling pressure to go in for a plant. So very, very nice here by Seven to even kill Infiltrators trying to get across.
Toxin screen down.
No shenanigans of dying to the spike either. Unlike nights over at Hubert Academy, so they're also rolling the economy within the next few rounds here. And again, now this is a clean slate, a new page off the first 5 rounds that we saw for the first map here, or the first half of this map. This is definitely looking like a very well-prepared TSM on the attack side, but also a very well-prepared Winthrop University that's trying to counter out as much as they could. Although the reads are still pretty decent, they're unfortunately just losing a lot of these First Bloods to these extremity control / op here from Seven. And remember, that's basically something that, or the main thing that kind of turned things around for TSM is Seven with this op.
It's still going to be really hard for TSM to find those moments to activate. I think First Bloods have come very naturally to them only when Winthrop kind of empties the well. And so if they do any sort of clock running, it feels like TSM will have a lot more pressure on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you've got 4 ultimates in your toolkit here. If you guess right out the gate and Pit, or I mean, even just Showstopper, because Infiltrator's been prone to using those super early in rounds anyway. Feels like you can really sort of jam a fork into TSM's W keying here whenever they actually start getting active. It's been a lot of like shuffle peeking that's gotten them forward. So if you're able to kind of just like interrupt that, oh no, you'll just use the pit off rip here. And it is a correct guess down short, but TSM will just keep on trucking right into Glyph sightlines. Yeah, easy 2-piece, but that's enough for Seven to clear the path. And it seems like that's what TSM want to work with, just taking the 3v4 now that the pit's been cleared. But now you have all this other keep away utility. First, that Maali. That's gonna split the board again and force TSM to start fighting. Moobs hold up on the bench, is gonna be able to get a free one after that smoke is tossed in to, once again, split the diff. Now it's WU that get to reset the fight, hold the clock down, and TSM, they'll have to play into the TP and the B site.
And because the trip got sounded, they actually went through the TP for the B side, a perfect pivot over. But they still have to play a 2 versus 4. Ult invested though.
Wow. Right as it's tapped. And WU are here to meet the threat, but 7 extends from the elbow. And another op shot continuing to cause horrendous impact against WU as they reapproach. Nightfall, as soon as the spike gets committed and Moves, is able to get rid of 7. That should be the round said and done. Vora, it takes a village, but it will work out. And WU can get their own ball rolling as we will tie things up at 10.
And you desperately saw coming from the timeout that TSM knew that Glyph was going to throw the sweater ult back into short A. The thing is, they placed all the stars on the ground. They tried to seize. They tried to really take down Glyph and surprise him. That's why decoys went through. There wasn't even TP for Team Atina to escape. But unfortunately, swinging out was a little bit off timing for the side of TSM, where Glyph was able to get to easily before he gets traded out. And the rest is just history. Very hard for you to convert back into a 2 versus 4. But at least they've forced out 3 ultimates within that last round there for TSM. Team Atino one pip away of getting the ult, and it seems as though they are trying to control that at first. You'll see the recalls coming through. Actually, no, it's a fake to move up on that side, so they can move and fight towards the A site.
Time to jump.
Infiltrator was trying to hold that off gap, that same one on the block. See if he could find it. Nice timing, but instead he'll just shift back downstream, and 7 finding an op moment of his own. Infiltrator contested way too early, and Timotino ulting to clear away the rest of the site. Lamps confirmed, and GMD just trying to brawl death against Governor, who will eventually take the timing and win. So WU will try to condense early on, but Timo's already searching down the showers. Governor peeks to it in time and keeps the man advantage rolling for Winthrop, but still having to hold staunch as the rest of the team makes their way back. Haunt to clear out the benches, and it's down to Alvin Boy standing alone as 7 makes his way back with this tour de force in tow. First spike tap is immediately counteracted by Alvin Boy, and that prompts the Steel Garden. 7's made his rotation, and it will tear out Glyph, leaving Governor alone as that ultimate will go down. So does the smoke, though, in little time to do anything more than tap the spike. Governor's got to hold and commit to a fight, and Alvin Boy has the backstab and the 11th round for TSM. It's just enough yet again.
Oh, we're going back to crucial mistakes here for both TSM and Winthrop. The first one is to Team Latino swinging back into the showers when the wall wasn't even procced up yet, thinking that Governor was on the outside, on the other side of the wall. Gets surprised, but that's the other big mistake right there. Dropping a smoke, thinking that you're covering the whole spike, and you're giving it a clear view if a person is on the spike or not for Alvin Boy. And he gets the easy kill onto Ali, who smoked himself and puts himself in that scenario here to allow TSM to win off time, to win the 1 versus 2. And for Alvin Boy to be continuing a reign for the side of TSM.
TSM just got it. No time to waste, and nothing landed here. Governor having to pick up that operator mantle that is all Winthrop have this buy. And it is nothing but desperation at this stage. TP in, it's guaranteed. And 7 wants a different op skin now that he's in sight.
They're double opping on attack, bro. They're double opping on attack.
They both got a chance to land the shot too. That's borderline disrespectful. And TSM is 1 round away from taking bind here. An electric attack half to get them back on top. And WU, I mean, that like half-hearted buy was nothing. It did nothing. No time to even think about it.
I was about to say, don't invest into a double op in this round. Make sure you have another rifle, and Team does so. So he's going to place that TP to be back onto that Vandal that he purchased, and then it allows for him to take control of showers here. Probably Haunt, yeah, through that smoke. There's no pressure, so it's an orb to get picked up. Well, we're just trying to bait it out. We're shooting a Prowler to force players to push through, and there's a triple or double high-low watching that angle.
Now they've rotated back over to showers, pre-firing with pressure. Timo's gonna rotate on out.
Wait, he left the gun.
Yeah,
He
he's
still
got to hold on.
keeps the op.
You've got to
No.
commit to the double op now.
Oh
It's
my
too
God.
late. It's too late. You've got to go with it.
Oh, dude. It's okay. They have Cosmic Divide, right? They're
1-2 jump on the
fine.
shear. They should be fine to exec this pretty conventionally and just try to take the retake. Oh, shear. Nope. Alvin's stuck behind the shear. Couple more seconds. Moob's going to steal garden this.
Yeah, bringing them to the arsenal.
Will TSM bring it to them? They still have a second to reconsider. They're in. He's just walking up with his op. All right, Glyph will get swarmed. The Moobs chooses to take the fight. No steel garden necessary. They know they have too much on their plate. Smoke and the Vine is all they need to deter the fight. And Alvin Boy, oh, I swear to God, Moobs. I swear to God, oh, thank you. Okay, Alvin Boy not able to land it on the turn away from the Cubby. And so WU can take us to overtime.
What I'm owed. I need a weapon.
We're
silly.
starting the map with shenanigans. We're ending the map with shenanigans. But at least
he had to work with that op, man. He had to do what he could.
that's what I'm saying, dude. I was like, oh, come on, man. You left the rifle at the ground there at the beginning. That said, though, at least it brings us into this important round where Moobs has nothing. Finally, he gets a purchase from his friends, but they do have important ults to work with. GMD's been holding on to this op or ult the whole time. But there is a different high-low this time around. Top of already on the right box. Trying to let the players walk through.
A lot more open. Trying to avoid the Prowler, maybe. And he'll just pop the decoy as the Cosmic Divide goes through. And they'll step into it. Proactive Nightfall to try and give Infiltrator an easy opening on the snipe, and it will.
Wow.
Timotino, no decoy, has to just dry fire it. And he falls right into the sideline. Infiltrator again! Is this really happening? GMD having to get extra active. Nova Pulse, Governor is ahead of it, and he'll take the fight and win it anyway. TSM gifted another lifeline after that 1v1. But Infiltrator's still here with this operator, and the Observer Cam still having some difficulties as corpses make their way over. They might already be dead with the help of these nebulas as the spike goes down. At TSM, re-outstretch. Now that Steel Garden is tossed in by Moves. GMD, bad timing, but brings down the short, he makes it work! And 7 outside of it with the operator, nails down one more. Glyph in a 1v2 on short, and it is sealed away. TSM damage control in the final hour and take the first map of one of their most crucial matches of the year.